wasn't yours, that wasn't created by you, but you wish you produced it, which techno track would it be?
That's a good question. Um, I don't know if I don't know a specific track, but probably there's so many. There's so many movies. Probably something by someone like Luke Slater.
Yes.
Um, I really like his stuff, so I can't narrow it down to one track. I'll be able to kind of think of it.
It's perfect. My other question to you, like, what is your process like when you're producing? Because, like, you're consistent, but also you have meaning with your tracks. So
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Like I have a sound, but it kind of goes wherever my mood takes me, I think.
yeah,
A lot of that depends. Like I've got quite a lot of different equipment, so sometimes when you use one synth compared to another, you naturally get quite a different sound with it.
yeah,
Sometimes I start just with a kick drum. Sometimes I start with a synth lead. So it really kind of depends. There's no real set process, but there are kind of like little tricks and kind of stuff that I do. Again, like using the same plugins for mixing and mastering and stuff. So that's kind of how I get quite a familiarity over different tracks.
brilliant. I also found out you were featured on Yaku's track that the what do you call it? The list of tracks that he did for his record label. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, his record
yeah,
label.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yes. What was the inspiration behind it, and why did you think it was the right move to work with them in general?
We've been chatting for a bit. So he's had my music for a while,
Yeah.
and we've just had a bit of back and forth. So I always kind of do it.
Mhm.
And then it's kind of I've got so many tracks. So it's like sending a few over. So I said work with them.
Mhm.
Because sometimes like my track won't necessarily fit what other for that particular label, but
Yeah.
kind of just a bit of back and forth, seeing what works at the time.
Mm. Makes sense. My other question to you is, what's your take on this? What's your take on the sync button? Because I feel like it's not a problem, but I think because I still use it, I think it's not an issue, but some people don't like it. So what's your issue? What's your issue on that?
Um,
What's your
I mean, because I started on vinyl, you
Mhm.
don't think about vinyl. So
Yeah.
I've never, and also I started with vinyl, so I wasn't looking at a screen. So I've never been one to really look at the screen too much or use it. I'm used to not having that option. So I don't mind if people, you could use it creatively as well. Like I've seen people use it and then go from one genre to another in a breakdown. You have to use sync to do that.
Mhm.
So I don't personally use it, but
Mm.
I don't mind to.
Okay. You mentioned you started on vinyl, right? So why did you think it was necessary for you to start on vinyl? Because I think it's the most one of the most amazing things in the world.
Well, I was age. That was all there was. But so I'm so I don't think there were CDJs, but they were very very basic,
Yes.
like very basic. So there wasn't really an option. Like, and I didn't even know about them at the time. So I started on like belt drive
Mm.
turntable appalling, where like
Yeah.
the drive has got a rub back, speeds up and slows down a bit.
Yeah.
So really, yeah, you're up against those. And then I Technics, and that was just what there was. So that's what I used. Um, then I took a bit of a break from DJing. When I come back to it, I
Mm.
got more into the digital side of it. There's good and bad for both. Like I like mixing on vinyl; it's more tactile.
Mm.
But there's definitely like I mix with three decks. There are DJs that use three decks for vinyl, but I don't know how they manage it. fair play to them.
It's a bit,
Uh,
it's a bit
it's
hectic.
much easier to do that with CDJs. It's not necessarily that it's easier, but there's things you can do on those that you can't do on
Yeah,
vinyl. So, yeah, I enjoy using CDJs now.
100%, 100%. My other question to you is, in your perspective, how can we elevate in the scene? How can we make the scene better? As a whole, um, you know, because I
That's
feel
a deep question. Um, I think I think you have to understand the essence of why the music's in the first place.
yeah,
So respecting diversity, that's respecting people from different backgrounds.
yeah,
Um, the music stands for something. So, there's always going to be commercial. It doesn't necessarily make it bad that it's commercial. What
mm-hmm,
makes it bad for me is like when you don't edit the music, so
mm-hmm,
you're just to be big or famous or whatever.
mm-hmm,
So I think as long as we can avoid that, and it's always simple as well. So a genre gets big, gets bigger. All of a sudden, you get those people that weren't really into it. It becomes something else, but it always comes back round. So
mm-hmm,
I think in the moments where it seems a bit kind of, I want to say like the TikTok techno stuff,
mm-hmm,
when that kind of stuff happens, people genres dying or whatever. It's not, because you would always get innovators that remain creative. There's always good stuff out there. That
mm-hmm,
kind of separates into its own thing. Keep true to the essence of it, really.
mm-hmm. My other question to you, is everything good? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay. Right, great. Um, my other question to you is, in your perspective, like, what is like what makes a great DJ?
Track selection is probably the most important thing. There's
Yeah.
no one thing more important than the other, because if you can't beat, but you're a great selector, sound good, right? But I think track selection is probably the most important. There's no point in playing, in underground like we do. There's no point in playing just the same song as everyone else.
Yes.
So I think like having your own unique style, digging for stuff that other people aren't necessarily play, and also surprising people. So like a good will play songs that people want to hear well, but a great play things that you're just not going to expect.
Yeah. And also, I think, also to add to that, to add to that, I think also just, as you said, being unique, also just being able to understand what kind of genre you want to make, even if it's not techno. Um, you just need to make sure you just need to practice it and practice it, so that when you're on this when you're standing on business, or you're doing whatever you need to do, it's proper, it sounds good, it feels good. This is why practice is always important before you get gigs, and before you do gigs in general. Does
Yeah,
that make sense?
with the genre, it's
Yes.
good to kind of learn the basics of it so that you can then take it in your own direction.
Yes, 100%. My other question to you is, in your, what do you want, if you could create, like, what do you think is important, why do you think it's important for the culture to have residencies, and why do you think it's so relevant in this day and age?
I think residency where you a lot. I mean, a lot of the big DJs, they
Mm-hmm.
talk about the residency had as like the best learning experience. You
Yeah.
you build this rapport with the crowd that hopefully keep coming back. Uh,
Yeah.
you try things out and your own sound, and kind of like build yourself. Whereas if you're always going from one place to, you don't necessarily build that. rapport and that ability to be able to read a crowd.
Yeah, 100%. Um, my other question to you: if you could create an event that represents who you are as a person and who you are as an artist, what would it be? And what I know the genre, but like, where would it be? What what three artists would you put on the lineup? And yeah, what venue would it be at? And what energy would you portray? If that makes sense.
Good one. I think I prefer clubs to like big venues.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Dark club, not too much lighting.
Yeah.
Uh, quite gritty. Um, music wise, like DJs. I think I'd just put my collective. I'd have DJs for my collective because
Mm-hmm.
I think we built the kind of sound that has got a bit of variety to it, but rooted in certain, like stuff I like to play.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'd book them.
100%. Why did you want to create a collective, or why did you want to be a part of this collective specifically?
Uh, so I was invited to join it, and it was just a way of putting on events with the right kind of in London, something a little bit different in terms of longer events.
Yeah.
And so I don't think a lot of people were doing that, still doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Like our events are quite specific, a bit longer, the vibe of it is a little bit different. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so it was something, yeah, something good to be part of, and it's gone.
Interesting. My other question to you is, if you could do a back-to-back with any artist, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Um, Slightly different take. I'll pick Cole Cox because he's actually from the very same area as me and went to the same school. A bit earlier than me, but we went to the same junior school, so interesting. So I picked Cole Cox.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. My other question to you: growing up, what albums shaped you as an artist and as a person that helped you develop your sound?
Album, I would say Prodigy album. I always liked a lot, and then a lot of hip hop. Well, I know techno, but I
Yeah.
think yeah, those are very my sound.
In-
So like big
Interesting.
like things like that.
Mm. Besides DJ, like you said you took a break. Why did you take a break, and why did you think it was necessary for you to take a break?
I think sometimes life gets in the way a bit.
Uh-huh.
Also, I kind of thought, where's it going? Which is a bit of a mistake because it's like you don't need to stop doing it because it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And since I've gone back into it, it has. So, I probably missed out a little bit, but also for having that break makes me appreciate it a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always worked well, so like my job is involved
Mm-hmm.
in music.
Mm-hmm.
But it was kind of good to take the break.
Interesting. If you could, if like, what legacy would you like to leave, and what would you tell your younger self if you could tell him anything?
Uh, Um, I think legacy, like there's obviously like things I would like to do in terms of, you know,
Uh-huh.
play this club, play that club.
Yeah.
But I think legacy is just making people dance at the end of the day and showing people a good time. I,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the essence of it, and then all the kind of achievements of it. That's really what I did. And I would tell my younger self, look up at the crowd every now and again,
Okay.
kind of being very.
100%. In your my other question to you, I'm gonna give you like four more questions, and I'll let you go.
Okay,
If okay.
yeah, that's fine.
Okay, brilliant. My other question to you is, growing up in London, what sounds did you grow up in grow what songs have helped you develop into the person you are, and what really solidified you as as a DJ? Like what really stood out to you, saying, I really want to DJ. I really want to take this as a career. You know, if that makes sense.
I think back in the day there was a lot of pirate radio, so that was like a big development thing. Uh,
Yeah.
so but that was like garage, all types of music. Probably not, to be honest. Um, so that was really my foundation of music. Pulled like sets off the radio and stuff like that, and then that's probably got me into getting deep. So yeah, I'd say the pirate radio of the late.
100%. 100%. In your perspective, what is the best way to get yourself out there as an up and coming artist? In your perspective.
It's tough. I mean, there's lots of opportunities with social media, like what we're doing. It's tough if you don't put yourself out there. So I suppose the most important thing is you have to put yourself out there. It can be nerve-wracking at times, I think, but you have to do it, and you have to get yourself and do that. You know, putting music out there, really released, and it can be confronting, but you have to do it, and people are really quite kind anyway.
Like there are a lot of songs of yours I love. Like there's so many. But Glow really solidified your creativity. Although it's minimal, although it's not too hard, or like the normal techno, if that makes sense. What is the inspiration behind it, and what are you what are normally your inspirations behind tracks?
I think inspiration comes from everywhere, really. Like I have just like certain things that underpin the music I make in terms of like groove and stuff like that. Funnily enough, like a lot of people, like I didn't think anyone would like it. I don't know why. Maybe because it is minimal and there isn't like a real obvious feel to it. But I didn't really expect to necessarily like that one, but a lot of people do. But yeah, no, it's funny.
Interesting. My last question to you is, what advice would you have for today's artists, and what that you've had to learn the hard way, and what are the and what is the what are the misconceptions about being a DJ?
I would say just be authentic to yourself.
Yeah.
Like if you chase trends, you're already too late anyway. You know, by the time the trend is probably on its way out. So I think you've got, you know, if you were to become big, having made music that's on trend, you wouldn't be doing what you actually really was true to you. Probably that all DJs are really self-important. Probably the main misconception about it. DJs can be.